Good morning and welcome, crypto fam. What it do? In today's show, Bitcoin takes the lion's share as institutional inflows hit a 7-month high. An interesting fact, 12 years ago today, the Bitcoin price smashed $1 for the first time in history. Also in today's show, check it, Bitcoin just made a golden cross on the daily chart. The first golden cross after the last bear market led to a 154% pump. So if this repeated, the Bitcoin price would hit $57,900 in the next 60 days. Send it. Also in today's show, crypto giant Binance suspending all bank transfers in US dollars and says the freeze is temporary. I'll be sharing why, as well as Dubai releases crypto regulations for virtual asset service providers, as well as analyst Benjamin Cohen reveals the worst case scenario price target for Bitcoin and shares his outlook. He says that a rally is coming in the next months and that a backtest of a diagonal trend line could put the king crypto at $12,000 in August of this year. Also in today's show, ARK Invest details a massive $1.5 million Bitcoin price target and says Bitcoin's long-term opportunity is strengthening. That's right. ARK Invest's Cathie believes the price of Bitcoin could exceed $1 million in the coming years amid a strengthening global value proposition. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. And welcome everyone just tuning in. This is pod episode number 1187. I'm your host JV. Today is February 7th, 2023. And checking out the overall crypto market, we can see Bitcoin currently correcting down about 0.5% for the day, trading at $22,900, while Ethereum is down 0.5%, but still maintaining just above $1,600. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we can see the current crypto market cap sitting still above the $1 trillion milestone with about 52 billion in volume. In the past 24 hours, the current Bitcoin dominance is 41.4%, with the Ether dominance at 18.7%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, the graph leading the pack up 34% for the day, trading at 17.8 cents, followed by AGX up 28%, trading at 56 cents, followed by FET, FET up 23%, trading above 54 cents. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, AGIX up a whopping 229%, FET up over 100%, and GRT up over 100%. Like, whoa, talk about alt season amongst us. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we can see we're currently rated a 54, which is neutral. Yesterday was a 56 in greed. Last week, a 51 neutral. And last month, a 25 in extreme fear. So there you have it. How many of you are currently bullish on the king crypto? Holla at your boy in the comments right down below. And now let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis, and we're also going to be discussing this golden cross on the charts as well, which is an extremely bullish indicator for the king crypto. So let's break this down. Bitcoin rebounding 40% in January sparked the largest inflows of institutional cash since June of 2022. In its digital asset fund flows weekly report on January 30th, digital asset investment and trading group CoinShares confirmed $117 million heading into crypto in the last week of the month. Bitcoin is still on the radar as institutional investment opportunity, as demonstrated by CoinShares' latest data. It took just weeks of the Bitcoin price action, recouping prior losses, to spark a significant turnaround in investment habits. And this is not just for the United States. Quoting them here, last week's U.S. bears seem to have changed their mind, with U.S. 117 million inflows, including U.S. 26 million from the United States. CoinShares wrote in a Twitter thread, and they also shared this is 3x the amount from last week. The total assets under management had risen to the U.S. 28 billion, up 43% from their November 2022 lows. Also, Germany was a surprise leader, responsible for 40% of the week's tally, followed by Canada. That's right. And despite the altcoins rallying in line with the king crypto, institutions appear mainly interested in Bitcoin when it comes to cash. In the words of CoinShares, the focus was almost entirely on Bitcoin, a fact not lost on market participants, eyeing a potential shift in preferences away from the Ethereum-centric, decentralized finance arena. Quoting them here, this is evidence that institutional money isn't sold on the Ethereum thesis. Now the numbers likewise being tested. Times for certain altcoins, with CoinShares signaling out Bitcoin Cash, Stellar Lumens, and Uniswap, as well as Solana, Cardano, Polygon, nonetheless saw net inflows, quoting them here. Multi-asset investment products saw outflows for the 9th consecutive week, totaling US 6.4 million, suggesting investors are preferring select investments. There you go. Now let's discuss GBTC sinking towards a new record discount after staging a marked comeback on its own. The largest Bitcoin institutional investment vehicle seems to be running out of steam once more. The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust traded at a 43% discount from the Bitcoin spot price February 7th, having recorded to 36.2% mid-January. Grayscale currently finds itself caught up in difficulties impacting by the parent company Digital Currency Group, better known as DCG, following the disintegration of FTX in November of 2022. However, do note GBTC was already struggling, with Grayscale attempting to force U.S. regulators to allow it to convert to the country's first Bitcoin ETF. Now, as we all know, regulators such as the SEC and Gary Gensler, they're completely against a spot Bitcoin ETF in the US, but this would fix a lot of the problems we are witnessing with lack of regulation. They want to make it unclear so nothing is defined and that they can continue to rule with their iron fist unjustly, in my personal opinion. Now for an interesting fact, it was 12 years ago today, the price of Bitcoin reached $1 for the first time in history. Could you imagine back then? Did you even know about Bitcoin? It didn't become on my radar, unfortunately, until 2017. But at the end of the day, I believe everyone pays the price they deserve to pay for the king crypto. It just is what it is. Now let's discuss a very optimistic golden cross, which just appeared, which is a great bullish indicator. Check this out. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed Bitcoin tracking sideways overnight, having shown volatility at the week's first Wall Street open, while failing to flip 23,000 to support. Bitcoin saw a potential significant event February 6th in the form of a golden cross on the daily chart. This refers to the rising 50-period moving average crossing over the 200-day period moving average, which you can see in this chart. The last time this occurred on the daily time frame was all the way back in September of 2021, literally 2 months before Bitcoin's latest all-time high. Deja vu. Let's go. Some crypto analysts have keenly watched the cross, with venture founder, a contributor to on-chain data platform CryptoQuant, arguing that $25,000 could reappear. As a result, quoting him here, Bitcoin golden cross just happened. This potential correction could see Bitcoin retest 20,000 200-day moving average and key support. Then in the bullish case, test 25,000 next, make 25,000 support, and it's nail in the coffin for the bears. Let's go. The picture remained complicated on the day thanks to an upcoming countercross in the weekly time frame, where the 50-period moving average remained on course to drop below the 200-period one, a phenomenon known as the death cross for its conversely detrimental impact on the Bitcoin price action. And for on-chain monitoring resource material indicators, it remained uncertain whether the golden cross alone could propel the king crypto higher, quoting him here. Whether it's enough to get a legit test of the 25,000 range remains to be seen. And in an accompanying chart shows major resistance in the form of Ask Liquidity stack currently at 23,500, the first major hurdle for the bulls to overcome in the event of a move higher. Now, another factor on the radar for February 7th came from comments from the United States Fed. Ahead of next week's macroeconomic data prints, multiple Fed officials were set to speak, with Chairman Jerome Powell's words expected to be the most significant regarding market moving potential. Quoting crypto analyst Mikhail Bende-Pop, nothing special this week. The only key factor to watch is Powell tomorrow afternoon. Perhaps one more sweep for correction, and then the party should continue rallying upwards. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the crypto analyst. And as pointed out right here, Bitcoin made the golden cross on the daily chart, the first golden cross after the last bear market led to 154% pump. So if this repeated, Bitcoin would hit $57,900 in 60 days, which would literally be the nail in the coffin for the bears. Let me know if you feel this can potentially play out. Holla at your boy in the comments right down below. And now let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss why is Binance freezing their accounts right now. Check it out. This is pretty alarming. Crypto powerhouse Binance says it's pausing all bank transfers denominated in the US dollar. What in the world? In a brief message on Twitter, the leading crypto exchange by volume says it expects the freeze to affect a small number of users, quoting them here, from February 8th, which is literally tomorrow. We will temporarily suspend all USD bank transfers. Only a small portion of our users will be impacted by this, and we are working hard to restart the service as soon as possible. All other methods of buying and selling remain unaffected. So for him to say only a small proportion of our users will be impacted by this, it goes to tell you that most of the users are not in the United States, I would imagine, or not using USD bank transfers. Binance stopped serving US customers back in 2019 due to regulatory concerns. The company then formed a partnership that led to the launch of Binance US, which is a separate US regulated entity. Binance says users of Binance US will not be affected by the transfer freeze. So there you have it. So I guess ultimately, if you're a user of Binance US, you don't need to worry. But if you're using the Binance platform, they're no longer accepting USD bank transfers. Goes to show you the ultimate ish coin of them all is the US dollar. It's not even accepted right now by Binance. You can't trade the US dollar for, guess what? Any ish coin, making the US dollar the ultimate ish coin. Just saying. Now let's discuss crypto adoption in Dubai. That's right. Check it. Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, the regulator in charge of overseeing crypto laws in Dubai, has issued new guidelines for virtual asset service providers operating within the emirate. According to info sent by Arena Heaver, a crypto and blockchain lawyer based in the United Arab Emirates, VARA has issued a full market product regulations, which includes 4 compulsory rulebooks and activity-specific rulebooks that lay down the rules for operating VASPs. The rules apply to market participants within Dubai only, with the exception of those operating under the Dubai International Financial Center, better known as DIFC, a free zone within its regulator. This is the Dubai News. Dubai's Virtual Assets and Regulatory Authority issued the long-awaited full market regulations for virtual assets. Now, in addition to the rulebooks, the Dubai regulator highlighted that all market participants, whether they're licensed by VARA or not, must adhere to regulations for marketing, advertising, and promotions. Violators will be fined between $5,500 to $55,000, and repeat offenders could get a fine as much as $135,000. In addition to these, the regulations also give guidance on other matters, such as the issuance of virtual assets. According to Heaver, there are several takeaways from the new VARA update. This includes the issuance of privacy coins being prohibited in Dubai, and traders with trading capital above $250 million being required to register with VARA. The regulation also sets fees for advisory services, licensing, annual supervision for custody, exchanges, broker-dealers, and lending services. The fees can go from $11,000 all the way up to $55,000 depending upon the services. Commenting on the new development, Heaver told Cointelegraph that VARA provided clarity for the crypto space, and it's a good thing. She explained the following: regulatory certainty is very good for business. Tell that to Gary Gensler, will ya? It is good for consumers, investors, and for the Emirate of Dubai. The regulations are long awaited and mostly welcome. Heaver also added that although VARA had a wide authority to interpret the regulations and apply them in a way they see fit, she believes and trusts that such interpretation and application will be done in line with the spirit of Dubai's leadership, which considers the business acumen and entrepreneurship fostering in mind. So mass Bitcoin adoption, let's frickin' go. And how many of you have actually lived in or visited Dubai? Let me know your experience in the comments below. I know a lot of crypto entrepreneurs from all around the world are relocated there, and I know they have lots of tax advantages as well, and they are also very crypto friendly. But with that being shared, now let's dive into our next story of the day. And before I break down the $1.5 million ultra bullish scenario from ARK Invest's Cathie Wood, first let's discuss a worst case scenario of Bitcoin potentially hitting a low of $12,000. Let's break this down, shall we? Widely followed crypto analyst Benjamin Cohen is setting up a price target for Bitcoin if it were to collapse. So that's if it were to collapse. In a new strategy session, he tells his 800,000 YouTube subs that this is the worst case scenario. Bitcoin can die by over 47% from its current value. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst. Cohen says Bitcoin could rally in the coming months and then back test a diagonal trend line, putting the king crypto at 12,000 in August of 2023, quoting him here, if it were August of 2023, like around here at 12,000, and it currently rallies on up to 26,000, then sort of sits up here for a while and then comes back down, and that ends up being the bottom at 12,000, would also actually correspond to hitting this trend line again, the low in May of 2022, the lower low in November of 2022, and then maybe one last low again in August of 2023. If November is not the bottom, this of course is assuming November is not the bottom, which admittedly again it could be. So the worst case scenario is something like that, as outlined right here in this chart. Cohen next looked to Bitcoin's price related to the 50-week moving average to analyze the possibility of Bitcoin dipping below the November bottom. The analyst says the 50-week moving average has served as a key resistance indicator after a lengthy bear market during previous cycles, and it may be on the verge of doing so. Once again, quoting him here, we've got 3 examples after basically a long bear market. The first one in 2012, rejection, then a higher low and blast off. The second one in 2015, rejection, double bottom, then go. The third one in 2019, we hesitated, got through it, ultimately capitulated back down below it, and then put in a slightly higher low. Normally, the 50-week offers some resistance, at least on the first attempt. Even in 2019, when we got by it, we still hesitated at it for about a month before making our way through it. Where does the 50-week sit now? Just above $25,000, which also corresponds to this prior local high right here, which you can see in January of 2022. Now, to watch this video Cohen did entitled Worst Case Scenario, check the show notes below the video in the description. And again, let me know if you feel this could potentially be the max pain for the King Crypto, or do you disagree? And let me know why in the comments below. And shortly, we're going to be reading all of those comments out loud. But now, for the moment you have all been waiting for, let's discuss this $1.5 million bullish price prediction coming from ARK Invest. Cathie Wood of ARK Invest believes the price Bitcoin can exceed $1 million in the coming years amid the strengthening global value proposition. That's right. And in a recently published report, ARK Invest says Bitcoin's long-term opportunity is on the up and up. The report highlights that Bitcoin's unique features could offer people a way out of decentralized monetary systems that have failed to provide strong economic assurances. ARK Invest says that 4 billion people live under authoritarian regimes, with 2 billion people enduring double-digit inflation and 1 billion people relying on remittances. She ain't telling no lies. As the monetary revolution, the firm says that Bitcoin is censorship resistant, inflation resistant, and seizure resistant, while also being audible and transparent. Facts. ARK Invest solidifies Bitcoin's use case by showing that in 2022, Bitcoin recorded $38.7 trillion in transaction volume. That's right, representing over 36% of the $105.3 trillion in total value transferred since the King Crypto's inception in January of 2009. Massive celebration, y'all. $105 trillion in total value transferred for the King Crypto. Pretty amazing considering we're just getting this baby started. And as for the firm's outlook on Bitcoin's current trend, ARK Invest believes that Bitcoin may have likely witnessed the worst of the crypto downturn last year. Quoting them here, in 2022, Bitcoin hodler capitulation was proportionate to that of the previous cycle lows. As outlined here, the percentage of Bitcoin trading at a loss reached an all-time high in 2022. In 2022, the percentage of Bitcoin supply trading at a loss peaked 68.3%, exceeding that in every previous bear market. That's pretty wild. Looking at Bitcoin's long-term potential, ARK Invest presents 3 price targets for the King Crypto, and according to the report, the firm's bear case for Bitcoin stands at $258,500 by 2030. Not too shabby for the bear case, with the base case at $682,800 and the bull case at a whopping $1.48 million per coin over the same time frame. ARK Invest presents 8 markets that could be the source of fresh capital inflows for Bitcoin, which include the following: corporate treasury, remittance asset, nation-state treasury, emerging market currency, economic settlement network, seizure-resistant asset, institutional investment, as well as digital gold. The hedge fund's bear, base, and bull cases depend upon Bitcoin's penetration rate for each market, as outlined here, the price target assumptions. And at this time, we have Bitcoin trading at roughly 22,900, suggesting an upside potential of over 6,365% for Bitcoin should it reach the hedge fund's most bullish scenario. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with this mega bullish scenario from ARK Invest and Cathie Wood that we can have a bull case of 1.48 million per Bitcoin? Let me know in the comments right down below. And now let's dive into my favorite segment of the live show, which is the live Q&A. Massive shout out to everyone in the live chat. I appreciate each and every one of you. Petey, welcome. J-Bull, Steve Hubs, welcome, welcome. Pezza, good to see you, fam. Satwise Jenks in the building. Pluggo, welcome. Dad, welcome. Ash, welcome. Nelson, welcome. Selling with Twins, welcome. Barry, welcome. Good to see a lot of familiar faces in the chat as always. Big news. Good morning, good morning. You guys pretty intrigued with this golden cross? Let me know, let me know. Good morning, brothers and sisters, says UFO Nut. Good morning, family. Always a pleasure. Yeah, man, it's wild. Always bullish here, never selling, always stacking, says Pezza. That's what's up. Bitcoin is the salvation of humanity. I agree 100%. Boomer, I believe that Bitcoin is God hacking humanity. You know, fiat currency is the enslavement of humanity, and CBDCs, what's to come with that? The digital version of, fiat crap. But Bitcoin is absolutely the antidote. I'm a firm believer in that. And it represents sovereignty and freedom for the people. Rudy says, can we all agree JV makes crypto even more exciting? Yep, smash like that button. Greatly appreciate that and your long-term support, Rudy. You're the man. The Bulls are back in town, says Pezza. You're damn right. Where my long-term hodlers at? Make some noise. Rudy, one time, my friend. The Bears will buy later and push the prices up even more. It is what it is. As they say, if you can't beat them, join them, right? Satwise Jenks says, too bad we have a death cross on the weekly, but a golden cross in the daily, as the weekly is more of an important indicator. Thanks for sharing that. Ash says, 17 out of 54, be a champ, show some love. Much love, Ash. I appreciate the support, family. Nelson, welcome. Good morning to you as well. More on Atom. Though Bitcoin is king, says Dad. I am bullish on Atom/Cosmos, so we will have to discuss that in a future episode. Pluggo says USD has lost something like 97% of its purchasing power since the Fed came around. Sad, right? And watch hyperinflation continue to crush nations around the world. We just witnessed this recently. What's the country we just witnessed this in, where they just lost 90% of their value overnight within 1 day's notice? Insane. Let me know what country that was. I know I covered it in the show a couple of days ago. Yeah. Pancake batter balls. Max is definitely an original. Max Kaiser is the man. One of my favorite. My favorite power couple in crypto, or I should say in Bitcoin, is absolutely Max and Stacy. There's no question. Benjamin Cohen doesn't know his head from a hole in the ground, says Steve. Pluggo, today's dollar would be worth $36 before the Fed in 1913. Oh boy. Coming from a fellow engineer, he offended in the chat on his site. That's how much he cares about his subscribers. Oh boy. Rudy says, been done wrong so many times now. SpongeBob says, the sound like a trap. Everyone's selling at 26, expecting a drop to 12, and it never happens. Good point. Steve says, I say engineer, although he has never predicted engineering. Okay. Long time. We have had a bottom already. Bitcoin has typically bottomed 12 to 14 months after its bull market highs, says Steve. PD says, let them stay uninformed. I don't want to use dumb. Much respect. Tough Cookie, good morning. Golden and Death Cross happening at the same time on different moving averages. Quite interesting, isn't it? Very good morning, Ilya. Good to see you, my fam. Lebanon, that's right. Thank you, Tough Cookie. It was Lebanon where their currency literally got devalued by 90% overnight. They announced it January 31st, and they said by February 1st, your currency will lose 90% of its value. Just like that. And you wonder why Bitcoin is the king. You know what I mean? Yeah, I saw it. It's insane. Rudy, BBC, digital pound likely this decade, the Treasury says, that's right. I mean, central bank digital currencies, they're continue to be rolled out. They're already in the pilot phase in the United States. They rolled out several years ago in China. You know what I mean? But it'll be interesting. How can the government, do you have faith that the central banks can create successful cryptocurrencies, which ultimately is what the CBDCs will be, digital versions of digital fiat? Do you have any faith in them whatsoever? I have zero faith. I think it's all going to go kaput. It's only a matter of time. And I think everyone in crypto will recognize it from the beginning and not want to participate in their, CBDCs. And everyone's going to be saying, nah, I prefer Bitcoin Lightning Network. Why do I want to use a currency which can expire that you're going to force me to use when I can just save my Bitcoin and keep being worth more and more from hodling? There's just no question. There's no comparison whatsoever. They're going to have to force you to use the CBDCs, which they're probably going to try to do. You know what I mean? That's the only way I can see humanity embracing central bank digital currencies. You know what I mean? It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Pokemon, good morning, my fam. Powell is upset that Bitcoin is going up, of course. And so is Jim Cramer, and so is Peter Schiff, and every other frickin' troll who can't stand Bitcoin, who missed out on it from the beginning, and it's just like, I can't stand this. You know what I mean? Jabs, CBDCs, and serfdom. Note, drinking that water. Exactly, Pezza. You already know what's good. Stay away from all that crap. Stay away. Pezza, Tate bought Bitcoin in October. Tate, much respect. Still in custody, locked up with his brother, and there are still no official charges pressed against him. So this is, in my opinion, a crime against humanity. And I'm praying for the Tates, for justice to be served. You know what I mean? If there's no charges against him, let him go. Why are we holding him? Meanwhile, Bankman-Fried scammed millions of investors with over $10 billion from investors. The dude is free, living it up. You know what I mean? The Tates are in jail without any conviction, without any charges pressed against. It's just, again, it's a crime against humanity, and it goes to show you, attack the matrix will attack back. You know what I mean? BlackRock wants to buy up all of the Bitcoin. Can't they? Don't they have enough money to do so? BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world, as we all know, right? They can't get to his Bitcoin. That's right. Exactly. They can confiscate your cars all day. They can take your Bugatti. They can take your mansions. They can take all your physical possessions. However, they can't take your crypto, because even if they took your wallet, if they were able to find your hard wallet, guess what? It's encrypted. There's codes. You can't hack it. You know what I mean? So it kind of is what it is. Unless you purposely give them your private keys, your crypto is safe. And take it a step further. What if you memorize your seed phrase in your mind and you destroy the device? And now there's nothing to confiscate. Now you can travel the world. You could theoretically be a billionaire, and no one can take anything from you ever again, including the powers that be. You know what I mean? Very powerful. Again, that's what makes Bitcoin, and I think I pointed out earlier with ARK Invest, all the different use cases which are going to help drive that price, 1.5 million. And one of them is, censorship resistance and unconfiscatable. That's a big deal in a time with such corruption being so prevalent. You know what I mean? All over the world. That's right, filthy trolls. That's right. SpongeBob says, I'll sell my Bitcoin to BlackRock for 10 million per Bitcoin right now. Oh, wait, that's fiat money. Exactly. Black Swan event needed for the World Economic Forum agenda. Binance planning on stopping USD transfers from banks. What's coming? Who knows? Maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe they know the dollar is about to be worthless and they don't want no part in it. You know what I mean? Who knows at the end of the day? And yesterday we witnessed earthquakes, major earthquake in Turkey, killing over 10,000 people, massive fires all around the world, including in Chicago, and a lot of things seem very engineered, a lot of engineered destruction occurring in the world right now. Is this all a big coincidence, or does Satan have a hold on humanity? I mean, look at the recent, was it the Grammys or something? There was a award show recently, and it was all sponsored by Pfizer, all their satanicness. They're doing rituals and Wicca and satanic, horns and devil and red. This is just basically a reflection of humanity right now being ran by Satan. You know what I mean? Bitcoin, in my humble opinion, is our only hope. If there was no Bitcoin in this world, I'd have no hope for the future of humanity. But because we have Bitcoin, we can fight back. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Keep stacking them sats. I'll tell you what's coming. It's a EMP, or electric grid breakdown, by Biden. Tough Cookie says, I've watched crypto YouTubers waking up massively over the last 2 years for corruption. Yeah, it's horrific in Turkey, for real. Prayers go out to everyone out there. And especially, sometimes I question, is it a real natural disaster, this earthquake, or was this using a technology called HARP, which could create earthquakes, which they have used before? They've used it in Haiti. You know what I mean? So nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing is really a coincidence. Everything is by design. You know what I mean? Everything is by design. Everything. ARK's Cathie Wood gets too much press. Her 2030 projections may be right, but who really cares? What really matters is the next couple of years. You make a great point. I just respect her because she has the long-term vision. I'm looking at this for the long term. I resonate with her because when I purchase Bitcoin, I'm thinking, what is the price going to be in 10 years? I'm not thinking what is the price tomorrow or next year. I'm such a long-term hodler. So that's why I like to cover it all. I'll give you the 2030 projection. I'll give you the projection over the next couple of months. I'll give you the projection right now for the price action. We'll cover it all. I mean, what else are we going to do? You know what I mean? What else are we going to do? Don't look there. Look here. Exactly, Tough Cookie. You already know. Well, you're going to see a huge special operation by the Patriots. Facts. Jaker says, smash that like. Been watching this show for over a year, and it's awesome. Greatly appreciate that, as that's the greatest compliment you can do. Also, don't forget to drop a comment. And if you're new to the show, hit that bell icon, turn on all notifications, and make sure you subscribe so you get notifications every day when I actually go live. I go live 7 days a week, 365 days per year. Name another crypto podcaster doing the same thing. I don't know of any. That's just show you my passion. You know what I mean? JV, you're on point, fam. Long BTC. Amen. Unschool yourself first, says Cathie promotes ETH and World Economic Forum. Bring the garbage to the curb and leave it there. Good point. Rudy says, say it loud, JV. It's all by design, my brother. You know it, fam. 100%. Yes, long Bitcoin. Mark Yusko says maybe way up by October. That is right. Mark Yusko is extremely bullish, as he should be, as anyone who truly understands the Bitcoin protocol would be right now. 1 Bitcoin equals 2 wheelbarrow loads of fiat. Exactly. In many countries right now around the world, as hyperinflation continues and the Bitcoin game theory in full effect. Thank you, JV, says Ellen. Sorry I was late. It's all good. I just appreciate you tuning in, regardless if you're tuning in live or if you're watching the replay or just listening to the podcast. All good, my fam. Greatly appreciate everyone's continued support. And with that being shared, now for a recap of what I covered here in today's show. We discussed Bitcoin taking the lion's share as institutional inflows hit a 7-month high. Also shared an interesting fact that it was 12 years ago today, Bitcoin reached $1 for the first time in history. We also discussed a looming golden cross on the daily chart. Last time this appeared, we had 154% pump. So if this repeated, Bitcoin can potentially hit 57,900 in the next 60 days. Also in today's show, we discussed crypto giant Binance suspending all bank transfers in US dollars and says the freeze is temporary. We also discussed Dubai releasing crypto regulations for virtual asset service providers, as well as crypto analyst Benjamin Cohen reveals his worst case Bitcoin price scenario of a $12,000 price action later this year, as well as ARK Invest outlining their massive $1.5 million Bitcoin price target, saying the King crypto is a long-term opportunity, which is strengthening. Now, where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Peace.